I've got this cute little 12-volt power torque air compressor, and it also has a light on one end. There's two different switch settings for the light and one for the compressor. But this could be real handy to have in your trunk. If you get a flat tire, a lot of times people don't check their spares. You might need to pump up your spare tire. You might be camping or at the beach and want to pump up a basketball or a football or something like that, or an inner tube. All you need to do is plug it into your 12-volt lighter on your car, and off you go. The problem is, I got this from somebody that was throwing it away because it doesn't work, and I don't know what the problem is. And oftentimes I get things from people and there isn't a problem. So let's take it out to the car, plug it in, see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll take it to the shop, take it apart, diagnose it, and get it fixed. Let's do it. All right. We'll test it out. Maybe it'll work. Let's see. And we'll plug it in. And here goes. We'll try the light first. Oh, we got nothing. The pump, nothing on the compressor. Now, there could be a problem with the compressor. There could be a problem with the light. But since I got a problem with both of them, I think I've got a wiring problem. Probably. Maybe a multitude of problems. If I didn't have a wiring problem, one of these two should work. So the first thing I want to check is, well, there's a fuse in here. Let me see. You can unscrew the tip of this. And there's a fuse in here. And you can check the fuse. There's a wire in that fuse. And if that wire's broken or you see a burn mark on there, that tells you the fuse is blown, and it might be something as simple as that to fix it. But this fuse is okay, so that's not our problem. Now this clip came out. That could be an issue. It also could be because people are yanking the wire out and they caused a short in this wire. So I'm going to plug it back in and just wiggle the wire around. Turn this on. I've got the light on. Wiggle the wire. And we're getting nothing. And it could be a wiring problem in the unit, or even in the plug. So if we got a problem, a wiring problem in the plug, I'm going to go ahead and wiggle this when it's plugged in and see if we get anything. And also wiggle this in the cigarette lighter plug and see if that makes a difference. Oh, look at that. She worked. How about that? Oh, look at that. Now quit. Now it's working. This could be something pretty simple. Look at that. Let me try the compressor. Get the light working first. There we go. Hey! Oh, there's good compression on this. So let's take it to the bench, and I think all it is a wiring or some sort of short in the plug. Let's take it apart, look at it, see if we can get it fixed. Yee-haw! Now, to take this apart, we can unscrew the end, like I showed you before. There's our fuse. Obviously the fuse is good, but there's a little wire in there. It's not broke, so this is a good fuse. There's a little Phillips screw in here. Unscrew this. Pull this apart. There we go. Oh! Look at this wire just hanging out here. The wire's tinned nice, but obviously it's not on the clip. And the other one's soldered on the clip nicely. So that's all it is. So all we need to do is solder that back on. I gotta get this clip out of here. There we go. You can see where it was soldered on there, discolored a little bit. And that solder joint just broke. And it could be from people pulling on this, but it's real simple stuff. 9 times out of 10, if these things are not working and nothing happens when you turn them on, it's something in the wire, people pulling on it wrong, or a solder joint came undone. You can see this side's nice, secured well. All right, just a quick little lesson here in wiring. This wire here is connected to this clip that springs behind there. Your fuse goes here, and then this tip goes on here, like that. So that's the 12 volts runs through this wire, through that clip, through the fuse, and into this tip. So that's your positive, your hot line there. And that's fine on this. Now on this other clip, this is your ground. And when you plug this in, it pushes against the case of the cigarette lighter. And that gives ground, that touches the metal on there and gives that ground. When you push that in, that's what pushes against the metal on the side, and that's your ground, so you get a complete connection. So what was happening is this is intermittent in there. It's not connected to this, to the ground. So if you wiggled it around, you'd get it to touch it or not touch it. It was intermittent. So all we need to do is hook that up, and it should be fine, hopefully. So I'm going to pull this out, and we'll go ahead and solder it. Now soldering is not my expertise. So if you want to learn how to solder, there's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to solder. But I'll do enough to get a good joint here. And I'm just going to rough up the metal. And I always like to use rubbing alcohol in case there's any contaminants or anything on there. Hit the wire too, in case there's any contaminants on that. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and tin this metal first and then put the two together. Take some flux. This helps the solder melt easier, bond better. Got a wet sponge, and it's always good to tin your tip. Beautiful. That looks pretty stout. Let's put it back together and see if it works. Now let's take it back out and give it a test. Okay, here we are. And let's plug that baby in. See if we took care of our stuff here. We'll plug it in. Hey! How about that? Unplug. Plug. Just like new. Warning. fan the compressor. Wonderful. That'll be a handy tool to have. If this video was a help to you, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to helping you with other projects online.